Numbers chapter 1. One day in mid-spring during the second year after Israel's departure from Egypt, the Lord spoke to Moses in the tabernacle in the wilderness of Sinai. He said, "Take a census of the whole community of Israel by their clans and families. List the names of all the men 20 years old or older who are able to go to war. You and Aaron are to direct the project, assisted by one family leader from each tribe. These are the tribes and the names of the leaders chosen for the task: Reuben, Elizur, son of Shedeur; Simeon, Shelumiel, son of Zerushadai; Judah, Nahshon, son of Amminadab; Issachar, Nathanael, son of Zuar; Zebulun, Eliab, son of Helon; Ephraim, son of Joseph; Elishama, son of Ammihud; Manasseh, son of Joseph; Gamaliel, son of Pedahzur; Benjamin, Abidan, son of Gideon; Dan, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai; Asher, Pagiel, son of Okran; Gad, Eliasaph, son of Deuel; Naphtali, Ahira, son of Enan. These tribal leaders, heads of their own families, were chosen from among all the people. Now Moses and Aaron and the chosen leaders called together the whole community of Israel on that very day. All the people were registered according to their ancestry by their clans and families. The men of Israel, 20 years old or older, were registered one by one, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So Moses counted the people there in the wilderness of Sinai. This is the number of men 20 years old or older who were able to go to war, each listed according to his own clan and family. Reuben, Jacob's oldest son, 46,500. Simeon, 59,300. Gad, 45,650. Judah, 74,600. Issachar, 54,400. Zebulun, 57,400. Ephraim, son of Joseph, 40,500. Manasseh, son of Joseph, 32,200. Benjamin, 35,400. Dan, 62,700. Asher, 41,500. Naphtali, 53,400. These were the men counted by Moses and Aaron and the 12 leaders of Israel, all listed according to their ancestral descent. They were counted by families, all the men of Israel who were 20 years old or older and able to go to war. The total number was 603,550. But this total did not include the Levites, for the Lord had said to Moses, "Exempt the tribe of Levi from the census. Do not include them when you count the rest of the Israelites. You must put the Levites in charge of the tabernacle of the covenant, along with its furnishings and equipment. They must carry the tabernacle and its equipment as you travel, and they must care for it and camp around it. Whenever the tabernacle is moved, the Levites will take it down and set it up again. Anyone else who goes too near the tabernacle will be executed. Each tribe of Israel will have a designated camping area with its own family banner. But the Levites will camp around the tabernacle of the covenant to offer the people of Israel protection from the Lord's fierce anger. The Levites are responsible to stand guard around the tabernacle." So the Israelites did everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Chapter 2. Then the Lord gave these instructions to Moses and Aaron. Each tribe will be assigned its own area in the camp, and the various groups will camp beneath their family banners. The tabernacle will be located at the center of these tribal compounds. The divisions of Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun are to camp toward the sunrise on the east side of the tabernacle, beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the number of their available troops. Judah, Nahshon, son of Amminadab, 74,600. Issachar, Nathanael, son of Zuar, 54,400. Zebulun, Eliab, son of Helon, 57,400. So the total of all the troops on Judah's side of the camp is 186,400. These three tribes are to lead the way whenever the Israelites travel to a new campsite. The divisions of Reuben, Simeon, and Gad are to camp on the south side of the tabernacle beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the number of their available troops. Reuben, Elizu, son of Shedeur, 46,500. Simeon, Shelumiel, son of Zerushadai, 59,300. Gad, Eliasaph, son of Deuel, 45,650. So the total of all the troops on Reuben's side of the camp is 151,450. These three tribes will be second in line whenever the Israelites travel. Then the Levites will set out from the middle of the camp with the tabernacle. All the tribes are to travel in the same order that they camp, each in position under the appropriate family banner. The divisions of Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin are to camp on the west side of the tabernacle, beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the number of their available troops. Ephraim, Elishama son of Ammihud, 40,500. Manasseh, Gamaliel son of Pedahzur, 32,200. Benjamin, Abida son of Gideoni, 35,400. So the total of all the troops on Ephraim's side of the camp is 108,100, and they will follow the Levites in the line of march. The divisions of Dan, Asher, and Naphtali are to camp on the north side of the tabernacle, beneath their family banners. These are the names of the tribes, their leaders, and the number of their available troops. Dan, Ahiezer son of Ammishaddai, 62,700. Asher, Pagiel son of Okran, 41,500. Naphtali, Ahira son of Enan, 53,400. So the total of all the troops on Dan's side of the camp is 157,600. They are to bring up the rear whenever the Israelites move to a new campsite. In summary, the troops of Israel listed by their families total 603,550. The Levites were exempted from this census by the Lord's command to Moses. So the people of Israel did everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Each clan and family set up camp and marched under their banners exactly as the Lord had instructed them. Chapter 3. This is the family line of Aaron and Moses, as it was recorded when the Lord spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai. Aaron's sons were Nadab, the firstborn, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. They were anointed and set apart to minister as priests. But Nadab and Abihu died in the Lord's presence in the wilderness of Sinai, when they burned before the Lord a different kind of fire than had been commanded. Since they had no sons, this left only Eleazar and Ithamar to serve as priests with their father Aaron. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Call forward the tribe of Levi and present them to Aaron the priest as his assistants. They will serve Aaron and the whole community, performing their sacred duties in and around the tabernacle. They will also maintain all the furnishings of the sacred tent, serving in the tabernacle on behalf of all the Israelites. Assign the Levites to Aaron and his sons as their assistants. Appoint Aaron and his sons to carry out the duties of the priesthood. Anyone else who comes too near the sanctuary must be executed." And the Lord said to Moses, "I have chosen the Levites from among the Israelites as substitutes for all the firstborn sons of the people of Israel. The Levites are mine, because all the firstborn sons are mine. From the day I killed all the firstborn sons of the Egyptians, I set apart for myself all the firstborn in Israel of both men and animals. They are mine. I am the Lord." The Lord spoke again to Moses there in the wilderness of Sinai. He said, "Take a census of the tribe of Levi by its families and clans. Count every male who is 1 month old or older." So Moses counted them, just as the Lord had commanded. Levi had 3 sons who were named Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The clans descended from Gershon were named for 2 of his descendants, Libni and Shimei. The clans descended from Kohath were named for 4 of his descendants, Amram, Ishar, Hebron, and Uzziel. The clans descended from Merari were named for 2 of his descendants, Malai and Mushai. These were the Levite clans listed according to their family groups. The descendants of Gershon were composed of the clans descended from Libni and Shimei. There were 7,500 males, 1 month old or older among these Gershonite clans. They were assigned the area to the west of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of the Gershonite clans was Eliasaph, son of Lael. These 2 clans were responsible to care for the tent of the tabernacle with its layers of coverings, its entry curtains, the curtains of the courtyard that surrounded the tabernacle and altar, the curtain at the courtyard entrance, the cords, and all the equipment related to their use. The descendants of Kohath were composed of the clans descended from Amram, Ishar, Hebron, and Uzziel. There were 8,600 males 1 month old or older among these Kohathite clans. They were responsible for the care of the sanctuary. They were assigned the area south of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of the Kohathite clans was Elisaphan, son of Uzziel. These 4 clans were responsible for the care of the ark, the table, the lampstand, the altars, the various utensils used in the sanctuary, the inner curtain, and all the equipment related to their use. Eleazar the priest, Aaron's son, was the chief administrator over all the Levites, with special responsibility for the oversight of the sanctuary. The descendants of Merari were composed of the clans descended from Malai and Mushai. There were 6,200 males 1 month old or older among these Merarite clans. They were assigned the area north of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of the Merarite clans was Zuriel, son of Abihail. These 2 clans were responsible for the care of the frames supporting the tabernacle, the crossbars, the pillars, the bases, and all the equipment related to their use. They were also responsible for the posts of the courtyard and all their bases, pegs, and cords. The area in front of the tabernacle in the east toward the sunrise was reserved for the tents of Moses and of Aaron and his sons, who had the final responsibility for the sanctuary on behalf of the people of Israel. Anyone other than a priest or Levite who came too near the sanctuary was to be executed. So among the Levite clans counted by Moses and Aaron at the Lord's command, there were 22,000 males 1 month old or older. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Now count all the firstborn sons in Israel who are 1 month old or older, and register each name. The Levites will be reserved for me as substitutes for the firstborn sons of Israel. I am the Lord, and the Levites' livestock are mine as substitutes for the firstborn livestock of the whole nation of Israel." So Moses counted the firstborn sons of the people of Israel, just as the Lord had commanded. The total number of firstborn sons who were 1 month old or older was 22,273. Now the Lord said to Moses, "Take the Levites in place of the firstborn sons of the people of Israel, and take the livestock of the Levites as substitutes for the firstborn livestock of the people of Israel. The Levites will be mine. I am the Lord. To redeem the 273 firstborn sons of Israel, who are in excess of the number of Levites, collect 5 pieces of silver for each person, each piece weighing the same as the standard sanctuary shekel. Give the silver to Aaron and his sons as the redemption price for the extra firstborn sons." So Moses collected redemption money for the firstborn sons of Israel, who exceeded the number of Levites. The silver collected on behalf of these firstborn sons of Israel came to about 34 pounds in weight. And Moses gave the redemption money to Aaron and his sons as the Lord had commanded. Chapter 4. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Take a census of the clans and families of the Kohathite division of the Levite tribe. Count all the men between the ages of 30 and 50 who qualify to work in the tabernacle. The duties of the Kohathites at the tabernacle will relate to the most sacred objects. When the camp moves, Aaron and his sons must enter the tabernacle first to take down the inner curtain and cover the Ark of the Covenant with it. Then they must cover the inner curtain with fine goatskin leather, and the goatskin leather with a dark blue cloth. Finally, they must put the carrying poles of the ark in place. Next they must spread a blue cloth over the table where the bread of the presence is displayed, and place the dishes, spoons, bowls, cups, and the special bread on the cloth. They must spread a scarlet cloth over that, and finally a cover of fine goatskin leather on top of the scarlet cloth. Then they must insert the carrying poles into the table. Next they must cover the lampstand with a dark blue cloth along with its lamps, lamp snuffers, trays, and special jars of olive oil. The lampstand with its utensils must then be covered with fine goatskin leather, and the bundle must be placed on a carrying frame. Aaron and his sons must also spread a dark blue cloth over the gold altar, and cover this cloth with a covering of fine goatskin leather. Then they are to attach the carrying poles to the altar. All the remaining utensils of the sanctuary must be wrapped in a dark blue cloth covered with fine goatskin leather and placed on the carrying frame. The ashes must be removed from the altar, and the altar must then be covered with a purple cloth. All the altar utensils, the fire pans, hooks, shovels, basins, and all the containers are to be placed on the cloth, and a covering of fine goatskin leather must be spread over them. Finally, the carrying poles must be put in place. When Aaron and his sons have finished covering the sanctuary and all the sacred utensils, the Kohathites will come and carry these things to the next destination. But they must not touch the sacred objects, or they will die. So these are the objects of the tabernacle that the Kohathites must carry. Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, will be responsible for the oil of the lampstand, the fragrant incense, the daily grain offering, and the anointing oil. In fact, the supervision of the entire tabernacle and everything in it will be Eleazar's responsibility. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Don't let the Kohathite clans be destroyed from among the Levites. This is what you must do, so they will live and not die when they approach the most sacred objects. Aaron and his sons must always go in with them, and assign a specific duty or load to each person. Otherwise, they must not approach the sanctuary and look at the sacred objects for even a moment, or they will die." And the Lord said to Moses, "Take a census of the clans and families of the Gershonite division of the tribe of Levi. Count all the men between the ages of 30 and 50 who are eligible to serve in the tabernacle. The duties of the Gershonites will be in the areas of general service and carrying loads. They must carry the curtains of the tabernacle itself with its coverings, the outer covering of fine goatskin leather, and the curtain for the tabernacle entrance. They are also to carry the curtains for the courtyard walls that surround the tabernacle and altar, the curtain across the courtyard entrance, the necessary cords, and all the altar's accessories. The Gershonites are responsible for transporting all these items. Aaron and his sons will direct the Gershonites regarding their duties, whether it involves moving or doing other work. They must assign the Gershonites the loads they are to carry. So these are the duties assigned to the Gershonites at the tabernacle. They will be directly responsible to Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. Now take a census of the clans and families of the Merarite division of the Levite tribes. Count all the men between the ages of 30 and 50 who are eligible to serve in the tabernacle. Their duties at the tabernacle will consist of carrying loads. They will be required to carry the frames of the tabernacle, the crossbars, the pillars with their bases, the posts for the courtyard walls with their bases, pegs, cords, and accessories, and everything else related to their use. You must assign the various loads to each man by name. So these are the duties of the Merarites at the tabernacle. They are directly responsible to Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. So Moses, Aaron, and the other leaders of the community counted the Kohathite division by its clans and families. The count included all the men between 30 and 50 years of age, who were eligible for service in the tabernacle, and the total number came to 2,750. So this was the total of all those from the Kohathite clans who were eligible to serve at the tabernacle. Moses and Aaron counted them just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. The Gershonite division was also counted by its clans and families. The count included all the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for service in the tabernacle, and the total number came to 2,630. So this was the total of all those from the Gershonite clans who were eligible to serve at the tabernacle. Moses and Aaron counted them just as the Lord had commanded. The Merarite division was also counted by its clans and families. The count included all the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for service in the tabernacle, and the total number came to 3,200. So this was the total of all those from the Merarite clans who were eligible for service. Moses and Aaron counted them just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. So Moses, Aaron, and the leaders of Israel counted all the Levites by their clans and families, all the men between 30 and 50 years of age who were eligible for service in the tabernacle and for its transportation numbered 8,580. Each man was assigned his task and told what to carry, just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. And so the census was completed, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Chapter 5. The Lord gave these instructions to Moses. Command the people of Israel to remove anyone from the camp who has a contagious skin disease or a discharge or who has been defiled by touching a dead person. This applies to men and women alike. Remove them so they will not defile the camp where I live among you. So the Israelites did just as the Lord had commanded Moses, and removed such people from the camp. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Give these instructions to the people of Israel. If any of the people, men or women, betray the Lord by doing wrong to another person, they are guilty. They must confess their sin and make full restitution for what they have done, adding a penalty of 20% and returning it to the person who was wronged. But if the person who was wronged is dead and there are no near relatives to whom restitution can be made, it belongs to the Lord and must be given to the priest, along with a ram for atonement. All the sacred gifts that the Israelites bring to a priest will belong to him. Each priest may keep the sacred donations that he receives." And the Lord said to Moses, "Say to the people of Israel, suppose a man's wife goes astray and is unfaithful to her husband. Suppose she sleeps with another man, but there is no witness, since she was not caught in the act. If her husband becomes jealous and suspicious of his wife, even if she has not defiled herself, the husband must bring his wife to the priest with an offering of 2 quarts of barley flour to be presented on her behalf. Do not mix it with olive oil or frankincense, for it is a jealousy offering, an offering of inquiry to find out if she is guilty. The priest must then present her before the Lord. He must take some holy water in a clay jar and mix it with dust from the tabernacle floor. When he has presented her before the Lord, he must unbind her hair and place the offering of inquiry, the jealousy offering, in her hands to determine whether or not her husband's suspicions are justified. The priest will stand before her, holding the jar of bitter water that brings a curse to those who are guilty. The priest will put the woman under oath and say to her, "If no other man has slept with you, and you have not defiled yourself by being unfaithful, may you be immune from the effects of this bitter water that causes the curse. But if you have gone astray while under your husband's authority, and defiled yourself by sleeping with another man," at this point the priest must put the woman under this oath, "then may the people see that the Lord's curse is upon you when he makes you infertile. Now may this water that brings the curse enter your body and make you infertile." And the woman will be required to say, "Yes, let it be so." Then the priest will write these curses on a piece of leather and wash them off in the bitter water. He will then make the woman drink the bitter water so it may bring on the curse and cause bitter suffering in cases of guilt. Then the priest will take the jealousy offering from the woman's hand, lift it up before the Lord, and carry it to the altar. He will take a handful as a token portion and burn it on the altar. Then he will require the woman to drink the water. If she has defiled herself by being unfaithful to her husband, the water that brings the curse will cause bitter suffering. She will become infertile, and her name will become a curse word among her people. But if she has not defiled herself and is pure, she will be unharmed and will still be able to have children. This is the ritual law for dealing with jealousy. If a woman defiles herself by being unfaithful to her husband, or if a man is overcome with jealousy and suspicion that his wife has been unfaithful, the husband must present his wife before the Lord, and the priest will apply this entire ritual law to her. The husband will be innocent of any guilt in this matter, but his wife will be held accountable for her sin. Chapter 6. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the people of Israel and give them these instructions. If some of the people, either men or women, take the special vow of a Nazirite, setting themselves apart to the Lord in a special way, they must give up wine and other alcoholic drinks. They must not use vinegar made from wine, they must not drink other fermented drinks or fresh grape juice, and they may not eat grapes or raisins. As long as they are bound by their Nazirite vow, they are not allowed to eat or drink anything that comes from a grapevine, not even the grape seeds or skins. They must never cut their hair throughout the time of their vow, for they are holy and set apart to the Lord. That is why they must let their hair grow long. And they may not go near a dead body during the entire period of their vow to the Lord, even if their own father, mother, brother, or sister has died. They must not defile the hair on their head, because it is the symbol of their separation to God. This applies as long as they are set apart to the Lord. If their hair is defiled because someone suddenly falls dead beside them, they must wait for 7 days and then shave their heads. Then they will be cleansed from their defilement. On the 8th day they must bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to the priest at the entrance of the tabernacle. The priest will offer one of the birds for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. In this way he will make atonement for the guilt they incurred from the dead body. Then they must renew their vow that day, and let their hair begin to grow again. The days of their vow that were completed before their defilement no longer count. They must rededicate themselves to the Lord for the full term of their vow, and each must bring a 1-year-old male lamb for a guilt offering. This is the ritual law of the Nazarites. At the conclusion of their time of separation as Nazarites, they must each go to the entrance of the tabernacle and offer these sacrifices to the Lord: a 1-year-old male lamb without defect for a burnt offering, a 1-year-old female lamb without defect for a sin offering, a ram without defect for a peace offering, a basket of bread made without yeast, cakes of choice flour mixed with olive oil and wafers spread with olive oil, along with their prescribed grain offerings and drink offerings. The priest will present these offerings before the Lord, first the sin offering and the burnt offering, then the ram for a peace offering, along with the basket of bread made without yeast. The priest must also make the prescribed grain offering and drink offering. Then the Nazarites will shave their hair at the entrance of the tabernacle and put it on the fire beneath the peace offering sacrifice. After each Nazarite's head has been shaved, the priest will take for each of them the boiled shoulder of the ram, 1 cake made without yeast, and 1 wafer made without yeast, and put them all into the Nazarite's hands. The priest will then lift the gifts up before the Lord in a gesture of offering. These are holy portions for the priest, along with the breast and thigh pieces that were lifted up before the Lord. After this ceremony, the Nazarites may again drink wine. This is the ritual law of the Nazarites. If any Nazarites have vowed to give the Lord anything else beyond what is required by their normal Nazarite vow, they must fulfill their special vow exactly as they have promised. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Instruct Aaron and his sons to bless the people of Israel with this special blessing. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace." This is how Aaron and his sons will designate the Israelites as my people, and I myself will bless them. Chapter 7. On the day Moses set up the tabernacle, he anointed it and set it apart as holy, along with all its furnishings and the altar with its utensils. Then the leaders of Israel, the tribal leaders who had organized the census, came and brought their offerings. Together they brought 6 carts and 12 oxen. There was a cart for every 2 leaders, and an ox for each leader. They presented these to the Lord in front of the tabernacle. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Receive their gifts, and use these oxen and carts for the work of the tabernacle. Distribute them among the Levites according to the work they have to do." So Moses presented the carts and oxen to the Levites. He gave 2 carts and 4 oxen to the Gershonite division for their work, and 4 carts and 8 oxen to the Merarite division for their work. All their work was done under the leadership of Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest. But he gave none of the carts or oxen to the Kohathite division, since they were required to carry the sacred objects of the tabernacle on their shoulders. The leaders also presented dedication gifts for the altar at the time it was anointed. They each placed their gifts before the altar. The Lord said to Moses, "Let each leader bring his gift on a different day for the dedication of the altar." On the first day, Nahshon, son of Amminadab, leader of the tribe of Judah, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing about 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin of about 1 3/4 pounds. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour mixed with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing about 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, a male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs for a peace offering. This was the offering brought by Nahshon, son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nathanael, son of Zuar, leader of the tribe of Issachar, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing about 3 1/4 pounds, and a silver basin of about 1 3/4 pounds. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour mixed with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing about 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, a male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs for a peace offering. This was the offering brought by Nathanael, son of Zuar. On the third day Eliab, son of Helon, leader of the tribe of Zebulun, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing about 3¼ pounds, and a silver basin of about 1¾ pounds. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour mixed with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing about 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, a male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs for a peace offering. This was the offering brought by Eliab, son of Helon. On the fourth day Elizur, son of Shedeur, leader of the tribe of Reuben, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing about 3¼ pounds, and a silver basin of about 1¾ pounds. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour mixed with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing about 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, a male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs for a peace offering. This was the offering brought by Elizur, son of Shedeur. On the fifth day Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai, leader of the tribe of Simeon, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing about 3¼ pounds, and a silver basin of about 1¾ pounds. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour mixed with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing about 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, a male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs for a peace offering. This was the offering brought by Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai. On the sixth day Eliasaph, son of Deuel, leader of the tribe of Gad, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing about 3¼ pounds, and a silver basin of about 1¾ pounds. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour mixed with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing about 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, a male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs for a peace offering. This was the offering brought by Eliasaph, son of Deuel. On the seventh day Elishama, son of Ammihud, leader of the tribe of Ephraim, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing about 3¼ pounds, and a silver basin of about 1¾ pounds. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour mixed with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing about 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, a male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs for a peace offering. This was the offering brought by Elishama, son of Ammihud. On the eighth day Gamaliel, son of Pedahzur, leader of the tribe of Manasseh, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing about 3¼ pounds, and a silver basin of about 1¾ pounds. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour mixed with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing about 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, a male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs for a peace offering. This was the offering brought by Gamaliel, son of Pedahzur. On the ninth day Abidan, son of Gideoni, leader of the tribe of Benjamin, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing about 3¼ pounds, and a silver basin of about 1¾ pounds. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour mixed with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing about 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, a male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs for a peace offering. This was the offering brought by Abidan, son of Gideoni. On the 10th day, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai, leader of the tribe of Dan, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing about 3¼ pounds and a silver basin of about 1¾ pounds. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour mixed with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing about 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, a male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs for a peace offering. This was the offering brought by Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. On the 11th day, Pagiel, son of Okran, leader of the tribe of Asher, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing about 3¼ pounds and a silver basin of about 1¾ pounds. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour mixed with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing about 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, a male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs for a peace offering. This was the offering brought by Pagiel, son of Okran. On the 12th day, Ahira, son of Enan, leader of the tribe of Naphtali, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing about 3¼ pounds and a silver basin of about 1¾ pounds. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour mixed with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing about 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb as a burnt offering, a male goat for a sin offering, and 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs for a peace offering. This was the offering brought by Ahira, son of Enan. So this was the dedication offering for the altar brought by the leaders of Israel at the time it was anointed: 12 silver platters, 12 silver basins, and 12 gold incense containers. In all, the silver objects weighed about 60 pounds, about 3¼ pounds for each platter and 1¾ pounds for each basin. The weight of the donated gold came to about 3 pounds, about 4 ounces for each of the gold containers that were filled with incense. 12 bulls, 12 rams, and 12 1-year-old male lambs were donated for the burnt offerings, along with their prescribed grain offerings. 12 male goats were brought for the sin offerings, 24 young bulls, 60 rams, 60 male goats, and 60 1-year-old male lambs were donated for the peace offerings. This was the dedication offering for the altar after it was anointed. Whenever Moses went into the tabernacle to speak with the Lord, he heard the voice speaking to him from between the 2 cherubim above the ark's cover, the place of atonement, that rests on the ark of the covenant. The Lord spoke to him from there. Chapter 8. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron that when he sets up the 7 lamps in the lampstand, he is to place them so their light shines forward." So Aaron did this. He set up the 7 lamps so they reflected their light forward, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. The entire lampstand, from its base to its decorative blossoms, was made of beaten gold. It was built according to the exact design the Lord had shown Moses. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Now set the Levites apart from the rest of the people of Israel and make them ceremonially clean. Do this by sprinkling them with the water of purification, and have them shave their entire body and wash their clothing. Then they will be ceremonially clean. Have them bring a young bull and a grain offering of choice flour mixed with olive oil, along with a second young bull for a sin offering. Then assemble the whole community of Israel and present the Levites at the entrance of the tabernacle. When you bring the Levites before the Lord, the people of Israel must lay their hands on them. Aaron must present the Levites to the Lord as a special offering from the people of Israel, thus dedicating them to the Lord's service. Next, the Levites will lay their hands on the heads of the young bulls and present them to the Lord. One will be for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, to make atonement for the Levites. Then have the Levites stand in front of Aaron and his sons and present them as a special offering to the Lord. In this way, you will set the Levites apart from the rest of the people of Israel, and the Levites will belong to me. After this, they may go in and out of the tabernacle to do their work, because you have purified them and presented them as a special offering. Of all the people of Israel, the Levites are reserved for me. I have claimed them for myself in place of all the firstborn sons of the Israelites. I have taken the Levites as their substitutes. For all the firstborn males among the people of Israel are mine, both people and animals. I set them apart for myself on the night I killed all the firstborn sons of the Egyptians. Yes, I claimed the Levites in place of all the firstborn sons of Israel. And of all the Israelites I have assigned the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They will serve in the tabernacle on behalf of the Israelites and make atonement for them, so no plague will strike them when they approach the sanctuary. So Moses, Aaron, and the whole community of Israel dedicated the Levites, carefully following all the Lord's instructions to Moses. The Levites purified themselves and washed their clothes, and Aaron presented them to the Lord as a special offering. He then performed the rite of atonement over them to purify them. From then on, the Levites went into the tabernacle to perform their duties, helping Aaron and his sons. So they carried out all the commands that the Lord gave Moses concerning the Levites. The Lord also instructed Moses, "This is the rule the Levites must follow. They must begin serving in the tabernacle at the age of 25, and they must retire at the age of 50. After retirement, they may assist their fellow Levites by performing guard duty at the tabernacle, but they may not officiate in the service. This is how you will assign duties to the Levites." Chapter 9. The Lord gave these instructions to Moses in early spring during the second year after Israel's departure from Egypt, while he and the rest of the Israelites were in the wilderness of Sinai. "Tell the Israelites to celebrate the Passover at the proper time, at twilight on the appointed day in early spring. Be sure to follow all my laws and regulations concerning this celebration." So Moses told the people to celebrate the Passover in the wilderness of Sinai as twilight fell on the appointed day. And they celebrated the festival there, just as the Lord had commanded Moses, but some of the men had been ceremonially defiled by touching a dead person, so they could not offer their Passover lambs that day. So they came to Moses and Aaron that day and said, "We have become ceremonially unclean by touching a dead person. But why should we be excluded from presenting the Lord's offering at the proper time with the rest of the Israelites?" Moses answered, "Wait here until I have received instructions for you from the Lord." This was the Lord's reply. "Say to the Israelites, if any of the people now or in future generations are ceremonially unclean at Passover time because of touching a dead body, or if they are on a journey and cannot be present at the ceremony, they may still celebrate the Lord's Passover. They must offer the Passover sacrifice 1 month later, at twilight on the appointed day. They must eat the lamb at that time with bitter herbs and bread made without yeast. They must not leave any of the lamb until the next morning, and they must not break any of its bones. They must follow all the normal regulations concerning the Passover. But those who are ceremonially clean and not away on a trip yet still refuse to celebrate the Passover at the regular time will be cut off from the community of Israel for failing to present the Lord's offering at the proper time. They will suffer the consequences of their guilt. And if foreigners living among you want to celebrate the Passover to the Lord, they must follow these same laws and regulations. The same laws apply both to you and to the foreigners living among you. The tabernacle was set up, and on that day the cloud covered it. Then from evening until morning the cloud over the tabernacle appeared to be a pillar of fire. This was the regular pattern. At night the cloud changed to the appearance of fire. When the cloud lifted from over the sacred tent, the people of Israel followed it, and wherever the cloud settled, the people of Israel camped. In this way they traveled at the Lord's command and stopped wherever he told them to. Then they remained where they were as long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacle. If the cloud remained over the tabernacle for a long time, the Israelites stayed for a long time, just as the Lord commanded. Sometimes the cloud would stay over the tabernacle for only a few days, so the people would stay for only a few days. Then at the Lord's command they would break camp. Sometimes the cloud stayed only overnight and moved on the next morning. But day or night, when the cloud lifted, the people broke camp and followed. Whether the cloud stayed above the tabernacle for 2 days, a month, or a year, the people of Israel stayed in camp and did not move on. But as soon as it lifted, they broke camp and moved on. So they camped or traveled at the Lord's command, and they did whatever the Lord told them through Moses. Chapter 10. Now the Lord said to Moses, Make 2 trumpets of beaten silver to be used for summoning the people to assemble and for signaling the breaking of camp. When both trumpets are blown, the people will know that they are to gather before you at the entrance of the tabernacle. But if only one is blown, then only the leaders of the tribes of Israel will come to you. When you sound the signal to move on, the tribes on the east side of the tabernacle will break camp and move forward. When you sound the signal a second time, the tribes on the south will follow. You must sound short blasts to signal moving on. But when you call the people to an assembly, blow the trumpets using a different signal. Only the priests, Aaron's descendants, are allowed to blow the trumpets. This is a permanent law to be followed from generation to generation. When you arrive in your own land and go to war against your enemies, you must sound the alarm with these trumpets, so the Lord your God will remember you and rescue you from your enemies. Blow the trumpets in times of gladness too, sounding them at your annual festivals and at the beginning of each month to rejoice over your burnt offerings and peace offerings. The trumpets will remind the Lord your God of his covenant with you. I am the Lord your God. One day in mid-spring, during the 2nd year after Israel's departure from Egypt, the cloud lifted from the tabernacle of the covenant. So the Israelites set out from the wilderness of Sinai and traveled on in stages until the cloud stopped in the wilderness of Paran. When the time to move arrived, the Lord gave the order through Moses. The tribes that camped with Judah headed the march with their banner under the leadership of Nahshon, son of Amminadab. The tribe of Issachar was led by Nathanael, son of Zuar. The tribe of Zebulun was led by Eliab, son of Helon. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the Gershonite and Merarite divisions of the Levites were next in the line of march, carrying the tabernacle with them. Then the tribes that camped with Reuben set out with their banner under the leadership of Elizur, son of Shedeur. The tribe of Simeon was led by Shelumiel, son of Zerushadai. The tribe of Gad was led by Eliasaph, son of Deuel. Next came the Kohathite division of the Levites, carrying the sacred objects from the tabernacle. When they arrived at the next camp, the tabernacle would already be set up at its new location. Then the tribes that camped with Ephraim set out with their banner under the leadership of Elishama, son of Ammihud. The tribe of Manasseh was led by Gamaliel, son of Pedahzur. The tribe of Benjamin was led by Abidan, son of Gideoni. Last of all, the tribes that camped with Dan set out under their banner. They served as the rear guard for all the tribal camps. The tribe of Dan headed this group under the leadership of Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. The tribe of Asher was led by Pagiel, son of Okran. The tribe of Naphtali was led by Ahira, son of Enan. This was the order in which the tribes marched, division by division. One day Moses said to his brother-in-law Hobab, son of Reuel the Midianite,
We are on our way to the promised land. Come with us and we will treat you well, for the Lord has given wonderful promises to Israel.
But Hobab replied,
No, I will not go. I must return to my own land and family.
Please don't leave us.
Moses pleaded.
You know the places in the wilderness where we should camp. Come, be our guide, and we will share with you all the good things that the Lord does for us.
They marched for 3 days after leaving the mountain of the Lord, with the ark of the Lord's covenant moving ahead of them to show them where to stop and rest. As they moved on each day, the cloud of the Lord hovered over them, and whenever the ark set out, Moses would cry,
Arise, O Lord, and let your enemies be scattered. Let them flee before you.
And when the ark was set down, he would say,
Return, O Lord, to the countless thousands of Israel.
Chapter 11. The people soon began to complain to the Lord about their hardships. And when the Lord heard them, his anger blazed against them. Fire from the Lord raged among them and destroyed the outskirts of the camp. The people screamed to Moses for help, and when he prayed to the Lord, the fire stopped. After that, the area was known as Taberah, the place of burning, because fire from the Lord had burned among them there. Then the foreign rabble who were traveling with the Israelites began to crave the good things of Egypt, and the people of Israel also began to complain.
Oh, for some meat!
They exclaimed.
We remember all the fish we used to eat for free in Egypt.
And we had all the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic that we wanted.
But now our appetites are gone, and day after day we have nothing to eat but this manna.
The manna looked like small coriander seeds, pale yellow in color. The people gathered it from the ground and made flour by grinding it with hand mills or pounding it in mortars. Then they boiled it in a pot and made it into flat cakes. These cakes tasted like they had been cooked in olive oil. The manna came down on the camp with the dew during the night. Moses heard all the family standing in front of their tents weeping, and the Lord became extremely angry. Moses was also very aggravated, and Moses said to the Lord,
Why are you treating me, your servant, so miserably? What did I do to deserve the burden of a people like this? Are they my children? Am I their father? Is that why you have told me to carry them in my arms, like a nurse carries a baby, to the land you swore to give their ancestors? Where am I supposed to get meat for all these people? They keep complaining and saying, Give us meat. I can't carry all these people by myself. The load is far too heavy. I'd rather you killed me than treat me like this. Please spare me this misery.
Then the Lord said to Moses, Summon before me 70 of the leaders of Israel. Bring them to the tabernacle to stand there with you. I will come down and talk to you there. I will take some of the Spirit that is upon you, and I will put the Spirit upon them also. They will bear the burden of the people along with you, so you will not have to carry it alone. And tell the people to purify themselves, for tomorrow they will have meat to eat. Tell them, the Lord has heard your whining and complaints. If only we had meat to eat. Surely we were better off in Egypt. Now the Lord will give you meat, and you will have to eat. And it won't be for just a day or two, or for 5 or 10 or even 20. You will eat it for a whole month until you gag and are sick of it. For you have rejected the Lord who is here among you, and you have complained to him, Why did we ever leave Egypt? But Moses said,
There are 600,000 foot soldiers here with me, and yet you promised them meat for a whole month. Even if we butchered all our flocks and herds, would that satisfy them? Even if we caught all the fish in the sea, would that be enough?
Then the Lord said to Moses, Is there any limit to my power? Now you will see whether or not my word comes true. So Moses went out and reported the Lord's words to the people. Then he gathered the 70 leaders and stationed them around the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to Moses. He took some of the Spirit that was upon Moses and put it upon the 70 leaders. They prophesied as the Spirit rested upon them, but that was the only time this happened. 2 men, Eldad and Medad, were still in the camp when the Spirit rested upon them. They were listed among the leaders, but had not gone out to the tabernacle, so they prophesied there in the camp. A young man ran and reported to Moses,
Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp.
Joshua son of Nun, who had been Moses' personal assistant since his youth, protested,
Moses, my master, make them stop.
but Moses replied,
Are you jealous for my sake? I wish that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his Spirit upon them all.
Then Moses returned to the camp with the leaders of Israel. Now the Lord sent a wind that brought quail from the sea and let them fall into the camp and all around it. For many miles in every direction from the camp there were quail flying about 3 feet above the ground. So the people went out and caught quail all that day and throughout the night, and all the next day too. No one gathered less than 50 bushels. They spread the quail out all over the camp. But while they were still eating the meat, the anger of the Lord blazed against the people, and he caused a severe plague to break out among them. So that place was called Kibroth Hattaavah, the graves of craving, because they buried the people there who had craved meat from Egypt. From there the Israelites traveled to Hazeroth, where they stayed for some time. Chapter 12. While they were at Hazeroth, Miriam and Aaron criticized Moses because he had married a Cushite woman. They said,
Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Hasn't he spoken through us too?
But the Lord heard them. Now Moses was more humble than any other person on earth. So immediately the Lord called to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam and said, Go out to the tabernacle, all 3 of you. And the 3 of them went out.